My friends, it's been too long.
Falna, we assume you've heard from Fenoth.
He contacted me from an Imperial transport. Apparently we promised to work with him. Not what I requested, but the service can make do.
There was no need to make him a joiner when he was amenable to discussion.
You haven't lost your touch as a diplomat after all.
Not entirely, no.
You kept your promise. Thanoth's assistance resulted in my promotion. I will keep my promise to you. Some important people are waiting, Vector. They're very interested in a potential Killik alliance.
You arranged this?
As soon as I knew we could work together. Check the data I'm streaming to your main console.
Thank you, Falna. Excuse us a moment, Agent.
That's nice.
It's like talking to a bug wearing a man's skin. I don't know how you stand it.
I don't understand. You helped him.
We're practical people, and we take the tools we're given. But those creatures are anathema to everything the Empire stands for. There's no place for great men in a hive mind. Only animal instinct. I'll be relieved when you people finish this scheme and get rid of the colony for good.
Agent, they listened. They don't understand yet, but they listened. The diplomatic service has requested my aid and wants to initiate relations with the colony.
Listen, Falna Eth is keeping his deal, but he's repulsed by Killiks. We can't trust him.
He admits it? We always did get an odd sense from him. It's out of his hands now, though. We should watch him, but we'll be focused on the future.
Agent, there's something we want you to know. Our obsession lately has been with the colony and the diplomatic service. We're sure you've noticed that we've been distant.
You've had a lot on your mind, and I've had an empire to save. Not a lot of time for bonding.
And at least we're using our time productively. Regardless, we're finished repairing ourselves. We found the part of our mind that understood humanity, and we're relearning how to use it. We couldn't have done this without you. And we don't want to be distant anymore.
Maybe you should make sure I'm convinced. I do have other options.
As you like. What will be the next verse of our song?
Have you really forgotten what comes next?
We haven't relearned everything, but we'll work on it.
What do you have for me?
Encouraging news. Watch.
Dawn Herald, forgive the message, but our emissaries were out of reach and we couldn't wait to link with you. Imperial scout ships entered colony space and made contact yesterday. We traded in Membrosia, silk, and star maps. We could smell the men's fright, but they left in peace. Perhaps you were right after all.
A long way from a signed treaty, but it's a start.
Is there something going on between you and that joiner?
Dizana is a nestmate, and we value her. But she isn't you.
Glad you have your priorities straight.
We trust you to remind us. In any case, things progress, and even the diplomatic service is listening to us again. Killiks and Imperials may share space in our lifetime.
What's going on?
Agent, in our work with the diplomatic service, we find ourselves talking to people we once knew. We've been contemplating this.
Hello, Vector. It's Honora. I don't know if you remember me, but Bryson said he thought you would, and... I wanted to talk to you. I know things didn't end well, but I never forgot. You need to get out of there. Come back to Drummond Cars and we'll get you help. We can undo what the Killiks did. There are still people who care about you.
We've watched it 17 times and meditated to the static.
You two used to be a couple.
We were nearly engaged to Honora very long ago. We never considered that there are people who want us restored to what we were. But watching this, feeling nothing, we know we're no longer who we were when we loved her.
If you could be restored, would you want it?
No. We had to know if our reaction was unnatural, but we don't think it is. We are content. It is done, Agent. We can scent the pulse of your heart. We can taste particles of solar radiation bead like dew on our lips. We have undergone the chrysalis of tranquility, and we are reborn.
You've never mentioned this chrysalis of tranquility.
The chrysalis is a ritual of the Dawn Herald. It makes us stronger, better able to face the enemies of the nest, and enhances our link to the universe. It requires the stillness of spirit we now have. We'll fight alongside you.
My brave, strange protector. You know I'm glad I have you.
We do.
So much.
We have news, Agent. We've been conferring lately with the ambassadors, moffs, speakers for the Sith, all with their own agendas and concerns, none with any love for the Killiks. But we swayed a few, and found ways around others. Now the diplomatic service has agreed to seek a treaty.
An alliance with the Killik colony. It's what you've been wanting.
What we've been working toward together. Some of the nests are still reluctant, Horro and Manam in particular, but all parties involved have agreed to a summit. We'll preside over the negotiations ourselves.
I'm at your disposal. I want this to work.
So do we. Thank you, Agent. Imagine. Colony and Imperial representatives in one room. It shall be interesting.
You said you wanted to talk?
Yes, but we'd like some privacy. No crew members, no Killiks, no emergencies. If you could arrange it.
I can arrange it. Should I dim the lights? Pour a drink?
If you like. We'll meet back shortly.
Vector?
I'm here, Agent. Surprise.
You have nice eyes. It's good to see them.
You look different without your electric aura, but just as lovely. The Abia nest taught me to repress the pheromonic bond. I can hold it for a little while. This is a time for us to be together. One you needn't share with the Ouroboros or the colony.
You're a smart man. I don't like sharing.
I'll remember that.
Nice. Okay.
The others will be back soon,
Others can be back.
but I'm glad we could have this. I do love you, Agent.
I love you too, Vector.
Then it all works out. Now, we return to work.
Doctor, you wanted to talk?
Yes, and I'm terribly sorry to take your time, but I have a small request. To be frank, it's a bit of an embarrassment.
You have my undivided attention.
I told you before about my safe houses, how my intruder alarms have been going off. Well, I attributed it to local happenstance. I may have been mistaken. My safe house on Balmora exploded.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Very much, but my scanners melted 0.7 milliseconds after activation. I could theorize regarding who did this and why, but truthfully, all I know is someone bypassed Imperial security to get inside. I'll need to see the safe house in person. I'll return as soon as I can.
You could be walking into a trap. Stay alert, Doctor.
And you. Well, I'm afraid the news is mixed. My safe house did indeed burn to the ground, along with 3 would-be assassins who were attempting to wire it with explosives. Apparently, my security triggered their bombs prematurely.
I assume you're trying to ID these people.
I did acquire genetic samples of the intruders. I'll be running traces shortly. One was a human male. The others, uncertain. Regardless, they used Imperial equipment and codes to get inside. Someone in the Empire wants me dead.
Guys.
Supposing you're right, what do you intend to do about it?
The list of people with grudges against me is a long and varied one. It will be some time before I narrow it down. But I take comfort in the fact that I'm once again viewed as a threat. My days in retirement are over.
We are set, Agent. Preparations for the Killik Imperial Summit are underway, and the first ambassadors are arriving on site. We're meeting on Alderaan, in the House of Thule,